Electricity are forced to use alternative energy such as paraffin for cooking, lighting and heating. This necessary fuel for low-income families comes with a number of challenges. Each year, 80,000 children ingest paraffin, 200,000 people are injured or lose property in paraffin-related fires. The Paraffin Safety Association aims to reduce the number of people who die from injuries caused by paraffin injuries. Patrick Kulati is Managing Director for the Paraffin Safety Association Southern Africa. He joins us this morning. Patrick, good morning to you. Welcome.
Good morning for you.
These numbers are terrible, aren't they?
They are very terrible indeed. It's a big problem that we're facing in our country, and it's a problem that does not receive the kind of attention that it ought to receive.
What is the problem? Knowledge, negligence, recklessness? Where does it all lie?
Well, the two categories of problem. One is systemic, the other one is behavioral. Let me start with the behavioral. In other words, the behavior of the people who are using paraffin appliances. People who leave their paraffin stoves or heaters on and move on to other things. People who drink and come home to cook and leave the thing burning. And there are those kinds of problems where people place the appliances on top of combustible material and so on. So that's one problem. There's another problem which is systemic. We're talking now about the unsafe, illegal appliances that find their way into the market and that people buy and that people use in their own homes. And then without having done anything on their part, in other words, the people, this thing explodes because it's not properly designed.
Yeah.
It's not meeting any specifications. It's falling apart. It leaks and all those kinds of things. So that is where the problem lies.
Okay. You as the association, what do you do? How do you create awareness? First for responsible behavior, but also to stop these unsafe products from getting into the market.
Well, we're working in a number of levels. One level is working with the media, both national media like SABC as well as community media. We work with those people to actually spread the message across, but we also go directly to the communities to run door-to-door campaigns, to do public awareness educations inside the communities. But also we partner with a number of people, including the National Disaster for Management Centers, and the other people like the National Regulator for Compulsory Certifications. So we're trying to work with government, local authorities level, right across. We establish partnerships, and we go out and do public education. So this problem requires a multiplicity of interventions, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah. How successful have you been?
Well, it's a relative term, but if you look back to 2002, when we tested 9 appliances, 9 stoves which were out in the market at the time, all those stoves never met the standards that were there at the time.
What then happened?
Sorry?
What then happened? Were they withdrawn? Were they barred?
There was a long process, because you see, before you withdraw, you need to make sure that the regulations are in place to make this thing illegal. So from that time up until 2007, we worked with the South African Bureau of Standards to actually regulate and make sure that these stores are outlawed and made illegal. So in 2007, a regulation came into place. So that meant that all those unsafe and illegal appliances were indeed made illegal by law. But what we're finding is that they are still coming back into the country as illegal imports through illegitimate means. So that's where another problem lies. We need to make sure that we close up our borders. These things do not come in. We need to encourage the companies that are inside the country that are trying to do good work, that are trying to comply with the regulation, making things possible and easier for them to actually deal with this.
Are the protective measures punitive enough to deter people who do that from entering the marketplace?
Well, that is still being worked out. We had a meeting last week with the CEO of the National Regulator for Compulsory Certification, Mr. Moses Mwelezi. He's trying his best and his team to make sure that this is discouraged. He's going around the country, the world, to the countries like China, where this stuff is coming from, to discuss with the authorities there to make sure that they they pull up their socks basically to prevent the stuff coming in here. But in terms of what the country is doing here, the NLCS is doing great work in closing down some shops. They are arresting people, they are confiscating the stuff. But I'm sure there's more that needs to be done. People themselves need to take personal responsibility in terms of their purchasing choices. People must not buy illegal appliances. People need to exercise safety in their own homes. And this is what our campaign is about.
Yes, safety first.
Safety first. In other words, if you're buying the stuff in your home, you're using it there, you yourself must take personal responsibility to ensure that people that are in your house and in your surroundings are safe. So that's what this campaign is about. It's media, but it's also calling upon people to take personal responsibility to improve certain things in their own households. For example, remove a stove from a combustible material like where there's paper lying around and things like that. Yeah. Remove, for example, from places where there are curtains, which can be,
These are found mainly in informal settlements
mainly in informal settlements. Yeah. And that's where the problem lies. And we need people there to take action. We're actually seeing a lot of work that has been done by councillors, by officials at the local level.
If somebody's listening to a conversation, they'd like to reach you, how can they reach you?
They can contact us on 0861 22 44 22.
22 44 22.
That's right. That's our number.
Paraffin Safety Association.
That's correct.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us, Patrick Kulati, this morning. So the number is 0861 224422 for the Paraffin Safety Association. You're watching Morning Live here on SABC2. Thank you very much for joining us. It's now 5 minutes before 7 o'clock. Main news bulletin in a few moments. But for now, let's check in with Andile about the weather.